Hello and welcome back to my channel. If not back, then just welcome. If it is your first time here, I would love it if you would click on the subscribe button and join me on my YouTube journey. So today is day number 4 in my week of Shop Hush eyeshadow palette reviews. I will have an info card right here where you can check out the previous videos. The palette of today is the Bad Habit Beauty Aura palette. This palette here is a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. This palette retails for $12. If you are judging by my eyes right now, this palette is very, very pigmented. All of the shades have that signature Bad Habit Beauty quality where the shadows are very soft and produce a lot of kick up, but they blend out very nicely and leave a really nice color payoff. Inside of the palette, you get 14 shadows, 7 matte and 7 shimmers. The shimmers vary from a more satin finish to a highly intense metallic finish. Looking at the color scheme doesn't really make a whole bunch of sense. There's not really any sort of theme or anything like that. It's just a lot of really pretty shadows put in a pan together, which is kind of something that I enjoy because it challenges me to come up with makeup looks that I wouldn't normally go to. The top row of shadows was kind of boring and I wasn't really like impressed with it. But the bottom row of shadows, those like deeper shades, I'm in love with and is the reason why I bought the palette. The shades that really called to me are Ethereal, Ecstasy, and Destiny. Those 3 shades that I mentioned were really worth me purchasing the palette. After I bought it and I looked at it and compared it to some of my other palettes, I thought that I had kind of wasted my money in buying dupe shadows, but these are so much darker and richer than any other shadows that I have. Today I went super dramatic on the eyes because that green shadow Ecstasy is just, once I started putting it on my eye, I couldn't really stop. The black is really black. I have a love-hate relationship with black eyeshadows. I'm always drawn to them, but I always end up messing up my eyeshadow look whenever I go in with them. But this shadow, the softness of it lends to it blending out and smoking out so that if I feel like I have applied too much, I can just go a little nuts and blend and blend and blend and then clean up with a makeup wipe. Overall, I feel like if you're somebody who loves to experiment with your eyeshadow looks and really push the boundaries of your artistry, I would highly recommend this palette. But if you're someone who loves just kind of simple and neutral looks, then I would probably stay away from this one. So if you are interested in seeing how I got this look, just stay tuned and I will see you tomorrow with the next palette.
So the shades that I'll be using for today's look are Ecstasy, which are this emerald green, Immortal, which is this matte black, and then Phenomenon, which is this like white gold color. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take Ecstasy color on my handy dandy shader brush and just pack that all over my lid. I have primed my eyes using the NYX Pigment Primer. Now here I am just elongating the shape like I always do. This look required a lot more concentration and blending, but that's what I really like about these shadows is that they lend so well to blending. They blend well on their own and they blend well with each other. Next, with just like a flat fluffy brush, I'm just going to go ahead and soften out that edge because I want this to be very, very smoky. There's nothing on this brush, it's a clean brush. I'm just using it to buff out that color on the ends. Next, I'm taking Immortal on a super fluffy brush and putting that on the very outer part of my outer V. I really like this black. Blacks are usually very hard for me. A lot of the times they can be real patchy or they can be so pigmented that I ruin my makeup, but the combination of this very fluffy natural hair brush and this very blendable black eyeshadow made it a lot easier. So with my same shader brush, I'm going in with Ecstasy again to add to my lower lash line. I want to make sure everything is connected, so I always go all the way out to the outside of my V. Next, I'm taking that Phenomenon color and then just popping that in the middle with my finger. And this is what I mean about the colors blending so well together. I'm just taking a small brush to soften up the edges of that halo, and it blended really well together. And so here is the final look. Super dramatic, sparkly, smoky eye. I really like it. It's not something that I would normally wear like on a day-to-day basis, but to play in my makeup, it was really fun. I think this has been my favorite palette that I reviewed so far in this series. As always, if you have made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Till next time, bye folks.